everybody, and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will give you a few more auto stop options, but more importantly than that, I would like to combine them with the ability to split your capture into several different files. So they don't need to be like in one file. You can specify parameters and say, I don't know, every 5 megabytes or kilobytes I want you to split and create a new file and store all output into it, or something of a kind. You will see soon enough what I mean by it. Now also, you might have noticed that I have split my terminal view here. I have split it for two reasons. I primarily want to be able to view the files as they are created in the folder in which they are created. But before we get into all of that, I would just like to show you what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to type in Tshark-H, press enter and get the help menu as before. And up here it says capture stop conditions, and below it you have capture output as well. So a bit of a formatting in terms of output, and we're going to use it in combination with the auto stop conditions as well. So something that we haven't talked about is this C flag here, or C argument. Basically you can specify the amount of packets that you want to capture. I don't know, I'm not sure how wise is that, because I mean how will you know how many packets you want to capture? But it doesn't matter. It's just an option there that you can use it. It can come in handy in certain situations, but it is unlikely that you will encounter them. Down below, you have auto stop, which we've talked about before, and we've only used duration. We haven't actually used file size or files. Now let me just go ahead and explain them here before I use them. So the rotation, you already know, you specify a certain amount of seconds and the capture process stops. The program terminates. Down below you can also specify the file size. So if the file size exceeds a certain limit, or if it gets to a certain limit, would be a better way to put it, it will stop the file capture. All sizes are interpreted by default in terms of kilobytes and seconds. And down below, finally, you have this files flag, and that works in combination with capture output. Now you see it says stops after a certain amount of files. Well, first of all, you need to create multiple files, and in order to create multiple files, you will need to use -b argument or ring buffer to split your output into several different files, and then you can use this flag as well in combination with it, basically saying, okay, I don't know, you've created 30 files, stop, that is the limit, I do not want any more. Down below, you can see that you have in the capture output, you have pretty much the same flags. And don't worry about it, you don't need to memorize them. I will show you a quick trick in a moment, how you can actually get the computer to tell them to you once you get to the point where you want to use them. But down below, you have the same flags, but over here they have a completely different meaning. Basically, the rotation here, it switches to the next file after a certain amount of seconds. So it splits, it creates a new file. And files, same thing goes for file size as well. No problems there. And we're not going to be dealing that much with the last flag, as it is not something I like to use and not something that is used that much in general, but over extended periods of time it can be used to replace the files. However, let's just go down into it. As once again, if you didn't memorize all of them, doesn't really matter. You basically just need to have a basic idea of what you can do, as I've said before, and to approximately know these arguments basically. But you can always take a look at them in the help menu, so that's not a problem. Let me just go ahead and clear the screen here, type in Tshark-I to specify the interface, so PHP1, and now I'm gonna, well, I might as well pass a filtering option here, capture filter. Let's just tell it port 80 and port 443, sorry, not and. You see, this is one of the common mistakes that people make, even me. You basically want to capture information on two ports, and you say port 80 and 443. Basically what this will effectively do is capture literally nothing, because these two conditions will not be met. It states that every packet must meet these two conditions, and of course they won't be met, and that will be a problem. Rather, instead, you need to type OR, So it's either one or the other, and then you will get a reasonable output. And do I want anything else? Yes, I might as well type in or port 53. Excellent. Port 53, that would be my DNS traffic, everybody's DNS traffic, as DNS servers work on port 53. Anyway, now comes the new part. So basically what we want to do is say that first specify the break, first specify the fragmenting, and you see now I've typed -b, and let's say I don't know what to type in. I forgot what was written in the help menu or something of a kind. What can I do? Well, two things. I can open up another terminal and type in help there, but that's not really an effective way of doing things. Rather, instead, you can just press tab two times really fast, or just several times really fast, and you're going to get the possibilities. The computer itself, the terminal, it will tell you what you can actually type in there that will fit. It gives you a list of possibilities. Now, this doesn't always work. Sometimes the list of possibilities can be like huge. You can have 200 possibilities, and that doesn't really help you that much. But more often than not, you just have a couple of them, and quickly press double tab, and you will get them. So a very good reminder here. You can see it, no problems. So what shall we use here? Okay, let's use file size, the one that we have not used before. File size, colon, and what shall we specify for the file size? Let us say that the file size will be 5 kilobytes, which is rather small, but okay, we really want the split to get going. We don't want to wait for an eternity of time for the split to happen. And in addition to that, I want to specify an auto stop option. So once again, you can just press tab double time and you will get it. And I want the auto stop function to kick in after the Tshark program has created 3 files. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in files colon 3. And now I can start the capture process, but I don't want to do that quite yet. Before we actually do that, we need to do something else. So in the TMP folder where the files are going to be captured, I need to be able to actively monitor that folder in order to see what is being created in it. So if I just type in ls command like this, it's going to list the current contents of the folder. However, that is not something I want at this point of time. I want it to automatically update without me having to type it in 100 times. So just clear it out. And there is a very neat command here. It goes like this. It says watch, and you pass it an argument the same way with Tshark. You basically type in, well, I'm going to pass it 1 second because I want the update process to go really fast. I open up my quotation marks, type in the ls command, pass ltr. That's just a set of arguments that is passed to the ls command. If you want to see what all of them mean, just type in man space ls and they will be listed there. Press enter and there we go. Now the TMP folder is being watched and its status is being updated every single second. Let's just go back here, use what we've learned before, pass the write argument, and need to specify a folder. So it's going to be TMP, and what are we going to name these files? Update. And I'm going to use all capital letters so that we know what it's going, so that we can actually see them clearly. Bcap. Press enter. There we go. It's capturing. There we go. The first one has been created. So you have update, I don't know, 00001, 201, blah blah blah, some sort of a number here, which is completely irrelevant to you. There are some sort of naming conventions which are far better. Then you have a dot and pcap. Now, since I don't have a lot of traffic here, I'm just going to go ahead and generate some. Okay, it's opening up definitely. Let's open up this, I don't know, pretty much everything in my browser. Just bookmarks. Close all of that as we don't really need it. And there we go. 3 files have been made. You have 1, 2, 3, and over here on the right side you can see that the capture process has stopped. Everything else that I would generate after that capture process, all the other traffic that I would generate afterwards, would be completely meaningless for the Tshark, as it simply would not capture it or do anything with it at all. In any case, that would be all for this tutorial, and I sincerely hope that I'll see you in the next one.